Hey, what up, everyone? It's your boy Dio from FunCloud.com, FRUNKLA.com. I hope you guys like my African hat. All right, so today I'm gonna be talking about Gordon Johnson. This guy is out again with a price target of 87 US dollars. Unbelievable. Tesla stock right now is trading around $2,000. I mean, it opened today around above 2,100 US dollars, and now then it retraced below $2,000, and as at now now that I'm making this video, Tesla is trading around $2,000. All right, that's not the point. So Gordon Johnson is out with 87 US dollar price target, and according to him, in 2021, Tesla stock is going to crash to 87 US dollars. That's his price target. Why? He believes the credit revenue Tesla is making money the last quarter, 300 million US dollars was made by Tesla due to credit revenue, and he believes that is going to be down 50% this year. Why? Because other car companies are also producing electric vehicles, so they're not gonna be needing to pay Tesla this huge amount of money, so his argument is that next year Tesla is gonna have less money from credit, and competition is coming, and Tesla is also not a leader when it comes to battery technology, because he says KTL, LG, Panasonic are making this battery, not Tesla, and they can also sell this battery to other companies, car companies, and also that other car manufacturers are also not buying these batteries from Panasonic, from LG, maybe because the battery is not good. So I'm not gonna talk too much about his arguments, so I'll just let you guys enjoy the show. Gordon Johnson was on Yahoo Finance, so this video is brought to you by Yahoo Finance. So he was on Yahoo Finance, and his argument is Tesla is going to 87 US dollar by the end of 2021. If you believe it or not, enjoy the show. And
We have been talking about it all morning long. Tesla shares are under pressure after its record rise to $2,000 a share last week. But was this run up warranted? Our next guest says, nope. Gordon Johnson is founder and CEO of GLJ Research and a longtime Tesla bear. Gordon, good to speak with you this morning here. What is your price target on Tesla right now, and why?
Yeah, our price target is $87 per share. That's a 2021 year-end price target. And listen, Tesla is detached from reality. It's trading at more than double VW's market cap. Yet VW sold 11 million cars last year. Tesla sold just under 370,000 cars last year, looking to sell roughly 500,000 cars this year. In a nutshell, Tesla is essentially a busted growth story. And I know that sounds crazy to people looking at the stock. Their U.S. sales peaked in the fourth quarter of 18. They haven't had higher U.S. sales since the fourth quarter of 18. Their U.S. gross margins peaked in the third quarter of 18. Their global sales peaked essentially in the fourth quarter of 18. And you're looking at a company that, excluding credit revenues, which are one-time in nature, and we know next year is will essentially drop to zero for them. In the second quarter, they lost $300 million. Now, listen, we had a tulip bubble, right, 100 years ago, where people kept buying tulips, and because they were buying, they kept buying. But here's the reality. There's an analyst note out today saying Tesla's seeing strong growth in China. The reality is, in the month of July, they sold about 11.4 thousand cars in China. They produced about 12.2. So they actually built inventory, and that's despite 8 price cuts globally this year, 4 of which were in China. So they're cutting the price of the cars. They have another facility in China, and yet they're selling less cars. So we think reality is much different than what is being pumped out there. And we think the stock price is driving analyst opinions, which is confounding to us versus reality.
Gordon, let me ask you. Listen, I was a stock analyst, a sell side for over 10 years. You have an $87 price target on Tesla. The stock's now over $2,000. How can you keep that call in place?
Well, I mean, it's simple, right? It's their earnings times what I think they're going to grow long term.
So you're actually real quick on earnings this year. You're looking for a loss of $1.58 per share. The street's at about $8.70. Why are you still looking for a loss? I mean, the way I think about it, you're looking for a full-on meltdown in the back half of the year.
Right. It's not even a meltdown. Again, they sold 400. They're selling credit. They're recognizing sales on credit revenues based on their financials that they haven't even sold yet. So they're recognizing credit revenue sales on cars that haven't been sold. We don't know how they're doing that, but they're doing it. We're not saying it's wrong, but we'd like a better explanation. But again, keep in mind, over the history of Tesla, I think it's like 32 quarters. In only 3 of those quarters, actually 4 of those quarters, 4 of 32 quarters, have they actually had a positive net income excluding credit revenue sales. That's essentially taxpayer incentives that they're getting for selling credit revenues to other car companies. The problem is all of those car companies are now selling electric cars. And Tesla is guiding their credit revenue sales to be down 50% in the back half of this year. So it's not a meltdown. It's just their core business is loss making. There's no doubt about this. If you take the credit revenues away, they lost $300 million last quarter.
And Gordon, when do you expect $87 to hit? You know, when is that? That 12-month target?
That's a 2021 year-end price target. So that's next year. We believe by the end of next year, Tesla's price will be at $87 per share.
Playing the bull scenario, though, what about bulls that say, look, this is really a technology company. You can't think of this as an automobile company. This is about software. This is about the battery. What do you make of that argument?
Right. So that's been the argument, for the past 5 years. Here's the reality on the battery. They have a battery day 9/22. Tesla buys its batteries from Panasonic, LG, and CATL. Let's go to Panasonic. Panasonic makes cylindrical batteries for Tesla. Anybody can buy those batteries, but nobody's buying them. If you look at CATL said they're going to have a 1,000,000-mile battery. This was something that was rumored that Tesla was going to come out with on Battery Day. Anybody can buy CATL's battery. And LG Chem just announced they partnered with GM to develop new batteries. And then if you look at what Toyota is doing, they're focusing on solid state, which is the next generation. There is no secret sauce. Tesla does not make its own batteries. That has been a wide misconception for a while. And if you look at their technology, the FSD, full self-drive technology, Navigate ranks Tesla dead last. Tesla uses radar. The technology that everybody else uses is LiDAR. And we don't think it's a chip issue, right? Elon Musk keeps coming out 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, 4.0. He keeps pushing out when there'll be full self-drive technology. We don't think it's a chip issue. We think it's a software issue. They're using radar versus LiDAR, and we don't think they're collecting the miles. We'd like to see where they're spending the money to collect those miles. Listen, if Tesla is the technology leader, why has their R&D spend as a percent of revenue dropped from roughly 12% in 2017 to 5% thus far this year, the lowest amount ever in the history of the company? We think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. If you look at what the specialists and the people out there who actually rank the technology says, they say Tesla's dead last, and we think there's real risk to that whole theory and thesis. They increased the price of their full self-drive technology recently, and their sales of FSD in a number of different countries have fallen by 50%. So again, when you say that we're projecting a collapse, no, we're just projecting that they're going to do less credit revenue sales. They're saying themselves their credit revenue sales are going to be down 50% in the back half. They drop to nearly 0% next year. And when that happens, we think the company goes back into structural losses. Again, without credit sales in Q2, they would have lost $300 million. So it's just a huge disconnect, reality versus what people are saying. Again, there's an analyst out today saying China's sales are great. The real data, July data, shows that they're selling less than what they're producing. So it's just the real data doesn't match up. We think when that matches up, you're going to have selling that we think drives the stock lower.
Gordon, how long are you willing to sit with this call? Because now I'm looking on to 2021. The street is looking for about close to about $15.50 per share in earnings. They're selling cars. They've had 4 quarters of earnings. How long are you willing to sit tight here?
Right, but I just want to stress, you can't say they had full quarters of earnings without understanding where those earnings came from. Those earnings.
But it doesn't matter. They still had earnings.
Those sale of credits, they say, are one-time in nature. So if you have to look at what they're doing and what they actually do. They make cars, and the profitability on them making cars. Their auto gross margins peaked in the third quarter.
But why should they be penalized? That is still part of their business. Isn't that something you do plug into your model?
No, that's one time. So they're saying listen, the only reason they're selling credit sales is because companies weren't selling EVs. Now every single company, VW, Porsche, GM, Ford, Renault, every single company is selling EVs, so they no longer need to buy those credit revenues, those credits from Tesla. So those are revenues that are going to go away. Those are 100% gross margin revenues that are going to go away essentially next year, be down 50% in the second half of this year versus the first half. So when you say, is that part of their business? Any business that is structurally dependent on taxpayers essentially giving them money versus being profitable in their core business, we don't think it's sustainable. So when you say, how long am I willing to sit with this call? Let's see if they print a profit, right, in the fourth quarter of this year, and let's see how their earnings trend next year, and let's see what their deliveries come in for the full year this year, right? This company is trading at a growth multiple that suggests their earnings, their revenues, and their volume should be growing exponentially every quarter. We're going to get the numbers for 3Q. We're going to get the numbers for 4Q. I think they're going to disappoint. And I think with all this competition coming in, people compare Tesla to Amazon. I think it's more like AOL. They have technology that is outdated. You have new technology from automakers who are proven that are coming for Tesla's neck, if you will. And if you look at the EU, right, Norway, Netherlands, Spain, in the fourth quarter of last year, their market share was 37%. Quarter to date, 2Q, their market share is less than 3%. That's a market where you have real competition. So 37% to 3%. When have you ever heard anybody talk about these numbers? I don't think you have. So people are putting out, Tesla leads in technology. What technology do they lead in? They do not lead in technology. So I think when the numbers actually hit the paper and the credit sales go away, which even Tesla's got into a 50% decline in credit sales in the back half of this year, and you see those numbers, those losses start to creep back in. Again, 2Q, excluding credit sales, $300 million loss. I think the stock really starts to tumble. The point is, I don't think people understand what they own in Tesla. Everybody talks about this technology leader. They don't make batteries. The rate of last in FSD. But every time I talk, the question is, are they the technology leader? I don't think they are, and I think that's going to be proven this year.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. So what do you guys think about Gordon Johnson's opinion on Tesla and why he thinks Tesla is going to crash in 2021? Do you agree with him or do you think the guy is crazy? Please use the comment section. If you are new on my channel, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I remain your boy Dio. I'm gonna be bringing you a lot of stuff from African style thing. So guys, have a nice evening. Bye. I'm out.